A mental health organization is about to unpack a display here at City College. Find out more in my in-depth report.
Despite a tough loss in the Mountain West Conference Tournament Championship game, San Diego State is heading to the NCAA tournament. Find out more in sports.
It looks like foggy mornings and warm weather is ahead. More details coming in weather.
Newscene starts now. Hi, I'm Jillian Fortner and welcome to this week's edition of Newscene, a broadcast produced by the students of San Diego City College. Every Wednesday, we bring you the latest news of the week. The college requires everyone to wear face masks, and that includes all of our crew here in our studio. We have an exemption for those of us on camera. We continue to follow all necessary local, state, and federal guidelines to ensure a safe environment for those back on campus, but we remain as focused as ever on bringing you the latest. And we begin tonight in Washington, where President Zelensky has made a case directly to U.S. government asking for help. In a virtual address earlier today, Zelensky got a standing ovation from U.S. Congress members. He called for more military aid and hinted that he does not expect Ukraine to join NATO. Russian forces have increased their presence in the capital of Kyiv and intensified their attacks. To counter the attacks, Zelensky has called for a humanitarian no-fly zone over Ukraine. President Biden responded by announcing a new massive spending package to support the Ukraine military. It came after Zelensky closed with a direct plea to President Biden for global leadership.
I wish you to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace. Thank you.
Switching gears to local news, Active Minds is spreading mental health awareness on City's campus. More on that with Roxy in depth.
Thanks, Jillian. City College students can expect an impactful display on campus tomorrow, set up by students focused on mental health. The display is called Send Silence Packing. It travels the country with the goal of ending the silence around mental health and suicide. It also focuses on encouraging people to ask for help when they need it. Dozens of backpacks will be laid out around Curran Plaza in remembrance of college students who died by suicide. With each one is a personal story from someone touched by suicide. The display is at City College thanks to the student chapter of Active Minds. Active Minds is a national organization dedicated to raising awareness and offering aid for mental health. Last fall, Active Minds volunteer Yellow Galler talked to Inside City host Jillian Fortner about the forms the program has taken.
Due to COVID, we would have videos that would play either by survivors of
According to Active Minds, suicide is the second leading cause of death for college students, and as many as 1 in 5 adults have a diagnosed mental illness. Those statistics are why Active Minds continues to bring the display to high schools and colleges nationwide. If you're someone you know who is struggling with suicide thoughts, you can call the U.S. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273 to talk anytime, or text COURAGE to 741-741.
Thanks, Roxy. Be sure to stop by the Curran Plaza tomorrow to check out the display. And it doesn't look like California Governor Gavin Newsom is going to face much competition for his re-election in the fall. No top-tier competitor emerged to face Newsom before last week's filing deadline. Former San Diego mayor and Republican Kevin Faulconer opted out of running. Newsom's strong showing in last year's recall was cited as a factor in the decision. And 2 years into the pandemic, China is now experiencing its largest COVID outbreak since 2020. The stealth Omicron variant is sending tens of millions of residents into another lockdown. In the southern city of Shenzhen, residents will have to go under extensive testing. Government officials have also decided to shut down all businesses in the country's tech hub. That includes at least one Apple supplier. And neighboring Hong Kong is still tackling its deadliest wave yet. And here in the US, former President Obama has tested positive for COVID-19. Obama and his family say they are all vaccinated and he's feeling fine. He's using this opportunity to encourage those who are not yet vaccinated to go out and get it, even if numbers here are going down. And California is leading the nation in the theft of catalytic converters. The car helps limit toxic fumes from escaping the vehicle's tailpipe. According to recent data from State Farm, there has been a rise in theft since 2019, and a big spike has come since the pandemic began. California legislator wants to tighten regulations of the sought-after part. State Farm suggests parking inside a garage or a well-lit area to deter thieves. And San Diegans are turning to eco-friendly alternatives amid rising gas prices. E-scooter companies like Bird and Lime have reported as much as a 35% increase in ridership in the recent weeks. With average gas prices here close to $6 a gallon, company officials are not surprised. A local nonprofit is also lending e-bikes to financially strained residents. Pedal Ahead hopes to give out 400 e-bikes by the end of next month. And as gas prices continue to skyrocket, Uber is increasing its prices. Starting this week, Uber passengers will pay a surcharge up to 55 cents on each trip. Uber Eats deliveries will also include a surcharge as much as 45 cents on each order. The company says 100% of these charges will go directly to the driver. And SDSU is headed to the double NCAA tournament. Don't go anywhere yet, because we'll be back right after the break.
A Dog's Way Home is the story of the extraordinary lengths a dog will go to in order to get back to their family. Every year, millions of dogs and cats end up in shelters and rescue groups. We found our Bella at a shelter in Tennessee. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover they're all pure love. Adopt pure love and help a shelter pet find their way home at theshelterpetproject.org.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back to Newscene. Fans of The Flash will have to wait a little longer to see the superhero on the big screen. Warner Bros. Has delayed the release date of multiple movies. That includes DC League of Super Pets, The Flash, Aquaman, and Wonka. Production delays are being blamed on the pandemic. The films are expected to come to theaters in 2023. And student theater is back at San Diego City College with the Festival of New Plays. The 8 student-written plays explore the themes of identity, sexuality, and acceptance. In its 7th year, the festival runs through March 19th in the City College Black Box Theater. Discounted tickets are available for students, seniors, military, and staff. If you're interested in purchasing tickets, visit citycollegetheater.com. And a celebration of Latino films wraps this weekend. The San Diego Latino Film Festival is showing at the AMC Theaters in Mission Valley. The festival demonstrates the power of storytelling and shared experiences about the Latinx identity. Expect daily live music and entertainment, as well as art from the Latino Gallery. And a country music icon says she is not rock and roll enough for the Hall of Fame.
9 to 5 for service and devotion.
Dolly Parton has decided to withdraw her nomination from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Rock Hall chose its nominees in February and praised Dolly for her role in female empowerment. In a statement to social media, Dolly respectfully declined. She also said that this could be motivation to put out her first rock and roll album. And in football, the GOAT is back. Tom Brady is returning to the NFL. People are still talking about this weekend's announcement, including his wife and the Tampa Bay coach. At 45 years young, he will be once again the oldest player in the NFL, marking this as his 23rd season. And the NCAA March Madness kicks off this week. Jacob, tell us more about that.
Thanks, Jillian. The 2022 NCAA basketball tournament kicks off in earnest tomorrow night. The 64 remaining teams will face off at arenas across the country in front of capacity crowds that were missing last year. They will be vying for the title of national champions and the opportunity to cut down the net. For the first time, the women's tournament also started with 68 teams. This comes amid a push for greater gender equity in college sports and a review of NCAA policies. And San Diego State lost a heartbreaker to Boise State in last weekend's Mountain West Conference Tournament championship game. But SDSU will still compete in the big dance. The Aztecs were given the 8th seed and are heading to Fort Worth, Texas. There, SDSU will face off against 9th seed Creighton tomorrow night. It's the Aztecs' 9th appearance in the tournament in the last 13 years.
Obviously, to put the disappointment of yesterday behind us in a great fashion, find out that we're playing in the NCAA tournament, that we're playing in Fort Worth against Creighton is exciting for everybody.
Thanks, Jacob, and good luck to SDSU basketball. And a new exhibit at San Diego Zoo is teaching conservation to kids of all ages. The Wildlife Explorers Base Camp features habitats like the rainforest, desert dunes, and marshlands. Visitors get a close-up look at animals like a porcupine and a two-toed sloth, along with reptiles, insects, and primates. Access to the new exhibit is included free with zoo admission. And it's a little foggy outside here on the coast. Estrella, when is it going to clear up?
Thanks, Jillian. Yeah, if you look outside, it's been a little bit cloudy. That's because we've been experiencing some morning and nighttime fog. And this weekend might have a chance of rain, but of course it's San Diego. It's going to warm up into the following week. So let's take a look at what's going on currently. Because those days are longer, you know what? Your commute you might have more sun at night, but it's still going to be a little bit foggy in the nighttime here on the coast. And then over there in the mountain and the desert area, it's beautiful and sunny. All right, and for tonight, the mountain and the coastal regions are a little bit similar. We got 46 up in Oceanside, 46 in Descanso, and then 49 over here in Chula Vista, and pretty mild 52 in San Diego. Right, and call it the luck of the Irish, call it whatever you want to call it. Tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day, it's going to be beautiful here. It's going to be sunny and 72. Like I said before, Saturday into Sunday, it might rain, but then going into next week, it's going to be beautiful weather. Back to you, Jillian.
Thanks, Estrella. For those celebrating, I hope you have a safe and fun St. Patrick's Day. Wear green or beware. And that's all we have for this week's Newscene. You can tune in for a new show every Wednesday evening on ITV or anytime you want on YouTube. You can also keep up with the latest news from the entire City Times media on sdcitytimes.com/newscene. This is Jillian Fortner. Good night.